What's up, guys? Give you a little bicep shot before we start this video. So today's videos are going to be talking about estrogen blockers, things to help reduce estrogen. I got a question from a subscriber, I believe. Kevin, I think is his username. I'll post. And he was asking me on one of my videos on an Austrian video about estrogen blockers and my thoughts on it, and some kind of give him some recommendations on what I think he should take, if he should take anything, and if there's possibility of gyno and all this stuff. So today's video is going to be all about that on Austrian or MK2866 and estrogen blockers, if you should or shouldn't take it. So let's start by saying or speaking on behalf of if you should or should not take it. Do you need it? Do you not? Okay. But first, we got to talk about if gyno is a possibility, because that's the main problem that people want to watch out for when it comes to estrogen, and why people kind of control it. It's because of the possibility of getting some gyno flare-ups, which got to keep those nips loyal. So I'll start off by saying yes, gyno is a possibility with Sarms, which is weird because it shouldn't be, because technically these aren't hormonal. They do mess with your hormones in a way, not directly, but more indirectly. So it is possible to actually get gyno, and I've had people actually get it. Although I've known someone who was researching it and did like way too much Austrian, which was kind of their fault, and I think took 2 or 3 times the actual normal dose of MK2866 and ended up starting to get gyno or sensitive nipples, which, I mean, you can't really blame the SARM at that point. It's kind of more of user error, if you ask me. And then I do know someone else who got gyno, which you can't really blame the SARMs in that case too, because it was more of another, I believe anyways, user error of not taking it consistently and letting hormones fluctuate all over the place. So gyno is possible, but it's mainly from user error, and it's going to be mainly your own testosterone converting to estrogen, because your hormones do change a little bit while taking SARMs. It does lower testosterone, so we do know it messes with your hormones, even though a SARM isn't a hormone. So estrogen blockers, if you should take them or should you not take them, I say have them on hand just in case. Rather be safe than sorry. You start getting some side effects, you start getting itchy nipples, you want to have that on hand just in case, just in case, worst case scenario, something starts happening, something starts developing. You want some kind of estrogen blocker just in case. I like to have any kind of side effect, any possibility of something happening. I rather have everything sitting in my like present in my house just in case. I like to be safe than sorry, because you get one body for your whole life, so don't fuck it up. Gynecomastia surgery is expensive, like $5,000 or something crazy like that. So it's like, try to prevent it if at all possible. So estrogen blockers, mainly regarding SARMs, but all around. So it's going to be an all-around estrogen blocker video, and then I'm going to be talking on behalf of SARMs as well. So we're going to start off with the light stuff. Especially for SARMs, you don't want anything strong, because estrogen, you do need estrogen in your body. Estrogen isn't bad. You need it to build muscle. You need it for your joints. I mean, you start getting really, really low on estrogen, your joints start hurting. You start getting really dry. You start not feeling well. You can't build as much muscle. You're not as strong. You get all these side effects if you have too low of estrogen. But if your estrogen is too high, you also get side effects or benefits. So you got to find that happy balance, okay? With everything, it's balance. When it comes to weight training, hormones, anything in life comes with balance, okay? So let's talk about the actual estrogen blockers. The first one I would say, especially with something that is light, like a SARM, is to keep it kind of, honestly, natural. If you're not trying to dry out for like a show or like stuff like that, then you definitely want to keep it really light. So the first thing I would recommend, and actually something I have here, and I'm going to try to link all the stuff I list in the actual description as well for you guys to go on and buy it, so you guys can have it on hand also. So first thing I'm going to talk about is Dim. Look into Dim. Dim is a great one. Dim is natural, and it is an estrogen blocker and reducer. It actually comes from broccoli. This is the first one I would use to start, just to make sure you're keeping things kind of balanced, okay? Another thing you can use, which I had on hand and I believe works pretty well, is this right here. I believe I posted this in one of my videos, which I'll link this before. I had a bottle of this. I took it for a little bit. I didn't really need it. It definitely like dries you out. And I know that for a fact because the second one that I'm also going to be talking about, I still have and haven't taken it because it does dry you out a lot, which Blackstone Labs makes Eradicate right here. That's another great one. These are more of the lighter stuff. I believe that it possibly, I don't know a lot about estrogen blockers or Sarms in that regard, especially over-the-counter stuff. I believe I remember it might be some kind of weird pro-hormone that's an anti-estrogen. I'm not 100% sure, I can speak, so don't quote me on that. So start out with the light stuff like your Dim, like the other supplement, Arimostan or whatever it's called, and Eradicate by Blackstone Labs. Start with the easy stuff. Don't jump to the crazy stuff. The person who was asking a question started asking me about like letrozole and low doses of letrozole and what I thought about that with Sarms. I don't think you really want to be using letrozole or researching letrozole with Sarms. Maybe with real stuff, just because you might need something strong depending on how prone you are to estrogen. But when it comes to Sarms, that stuff seems like way too strong unless you already have pre-existing gyno and you're trying to actually get rid of it or shrink the gland that's swollen up. That might be something to try, but I do think, I've never used it. I feel like it wouldn't make you feel too good. Your estrogen would get really low. It can annihilate estrogen. That's a suicidal inhibitor. It destroys stuff so that you can't produce the actual estrogen anymore. So that's a little too strong in my opinion. It does work and you can use it, and you have to be really careful with it if you do use it, because most of this stuff that you're going to be getting to research is going to be coming in suspended liquid form, which is going to be hard to dose because you don't know how evenly it's distributed throughout that liquid. So you could take one dropper and it's 1 milligram, and you could all of a sudden take it again and forget to shake it, and all of a sudden you're taking 5 milligrams because you didn't shake it, and all of the letrozole is in the bottom of that liquid. So that's gonna really mess you up and give you problems. You're not gonna like that. I mean, having low estrogen also isn't good for your libido. So you get crazy low estrogen, you're not gonna have a libido, which isn't fun. No one wants that. Another one you can look into, I mean, if you're trying to think about like stopping gyno as your main concern, you can try really low doses, which I don't think you need to or have to or should per se. Use tamoxifen or Novadex, which is another SERM, a selective estrogen receptor modulator, which actually binds to the estrogen receptors in your nipples to block them from swelling up. The only thing is that Novadex is slightly methylated, so you don't want to be taking too much of that or for too long. But it is one option if you are prone to gyno, or if maybe you're taking this and you're a little overweight, because if you have a little extra body fat, you're going to have higher estrogen levels in your body, okay? So that's one way you can go. There's also other stuff like, I think it's or exemestane. I'll call it exemestane. There's other names for it, which is actually, I do like exemestane, and I have used exemestane. I've also used Novadex. I like exemestane the best. Apparently it has some testosterone boosting effects, maybe even IGF-1 boosting effects. I believe I was doing some like research and looking into it. Apparently it can mess up with the T3 though in your body, so it can slow down your metabolism a little, which you do not want. So you gotta be careful with that stuff, which I didn't actually know until actually yesterday. So be careful with that stuff. But for the case of Sarms, you did take such a low dose of that you probably wouldn't have any kind of problems like that. So just be careful with that stuff, guys. With all this stuff, you got to be careful, but especially with some of these different side effects. You don't want to be putting all this stuff in your body and not knowing what they're doing, especially when you're trying to make progress towards a goal, and say you're trying to get lean and you're taking something like that and it's messing up your metabolism and you can't drop the amount of weight that you want. You don't want that. So be careful. And then the last thing we're going to quickly talk about, because I don't want to make this too long, which it's already getting too long, is Arimidex. Arimidex is another good one. That's actually probably a better one to use. Really light doses as well, because it actually doesn't destroy anything. It's not a suicidal inhibitor like letrozole or exemestane. It's actually a blocker, so it actually binds to an enzyme so that your testosterone, I believe, can't convert into estrogen. So it stops it from converting. But the only problem with that is that there can be a rebound effect, which isn't the best, which you don't really want. You know, you don't want to all of a sudden have like perfect estrogen and all of a sudden you're sitting here and then it rebounds back up here. One thing you could possibly do, I don't know if this would work, it's just something I would think might work, is take Arimidex consistently, and then once you want to stop, maybe take a little bit of some kind of a suicidal inhibitor, kill some of the enzymes, you know, so that there's not so much of a bounce back. I would take a very low dose of it too if you're trying to do that. But that's pretty much it on this video. Thank you for the question. I hope this helps some of you guys out. Be careful with all this stuff. Be careful with your SARMs, your SERMs, your estrogen blockers, your test boosters, all that stuff. You gotta be careful. Do all your research before you take it, and pick the right one for you and what you need. All right, guys. Hope this helped you guys. If it did, give me a thumbs up, share the video, let other people know you're researching this stuff, and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to be doing a video soon on my last SARM experiment that turned out really well, as you can see by how lean I am still. And I am actually bloated right now, so it went really well. So stay tuned for that. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.